This week in Destiny for February 6th, 2025. Heresy has arrived and we have new information to dive through. The new dungeon releases tomorrow and we'll discuss everything you need to know. Emblems, rewards, secrets, and new images. Also some of the big changes you need to know regarding the Nether and known issues from this episode's release. Welcome Guardians, let's dive right in. So this week in Destiny begins with a couple of sort of news announcements. This tweet isn't very huge, but we'll talk about the news you need to know. The Game to Give fundraiser is still in full force. At the time of making this video, Bungie's official stream is currently live. They're doing a dungeon race marathon and have a bunch of cool incentives and funny things you can donate towards. Also, if you are interested, our own community fundraiser has just passed the halfway mark. Thank you to all of you that have donated so far. So if you'd like to contribute to our campaign and get some cool Destiny goodies and help a good cause in the process, you can click the link in the description, or just donate to the Game to Give campaign overall. Bungie says Heresy is here, and after checking all the reactions to the very first week of story development, they can say it landed the way they intended, like a blow to the chest piercing everyone's heart. Which is definitely true story-wise. I don't know how smooth it went with some of the error codes, but hopefully those have been resolved by now. So Heresy is here with new story content, new activities, and a lot of rewards if you haven't been around Destiny for a while. Along with the first act beginning here in week 1, they've also launched an array of Star Wars themed armor ornament sets and accessories. Your Guardians can now don a look inspired by troopers or royal guards from the Galactic Empire. The idea of this is pretty cool, but seeing it in game takes it to another level, especially if you have the lightsaber emote. The big chunk of news comes with the Sundered Doctrine Dungeon releasing tomorrow. The best teams in the world will compete in the new dungeon race and face the contest mode, which will be available for 48 hours. Bungie hopes you have several builds ready, a tight-knitted fire team to endure the challenge, and at least 1995 power level to meet the cap for contest mode. If you don't though, don't worry, as soon as the first team clears the dungeon, the regular mode will then be available. The Sundered Doctrine Dungeon will take us to Savathun's throne world, infiltrating Ralk's pyramid ship in the new location. This time around though, for the race rather than a podium race, they'll be looking to crown a single team that rises to the top and finishes first. So each team member for the winning team will receive the first ever dungeon race trophy. So the basics are, contest mode is enabled for the first 48 hours. You'll need to be 1995 power. If you just want to wait things out, once the first team completes the dungeon, the regular mode will be available. If you are going for the world's first completion, once the final encounter is complete, the fire team must loot the final chest or their finish may not be recorded. At least one member of the fire team must have completed and received loot for every encounter, and it must be the first time completing the activity for all members of the fire team. For those who prefer to sit tight and watch, they have some entertainment options for you too. As they announced last week, they have an official raid race coverage stream in partnership with CB Gray and Evan F 1997. There's also some other options in French, Italian, and German languages. There's a couple of emblems you can also earn from watching various streams that are opted into this. The Mercury-themed Trigonic Amber emblem, and the Gloaming Dark. A third emblem will be available if you subscribe or gift a sub on Twitch to your favorite opted-in streamer. Now, as we approach the dungeon race, there are some items that might be disabled to maintain the integrity of the activity, the race, and to give everyone a proper challenge. They're going to keep updating this list before the dungeon if more things need to be added. But for now, Microcosm is disabled along with auto-loading holster perk and class-specific exotic glaives. So if you're trying to use any of those, they won't work for the dungeon. There's of course Bungie rewards available for the dungeon and a new emblem from the Bungie store if you purchase anything called Knit 1 per 2. Now before we move on from the dungeon stuff, they have posted some images in their press kits which I wanted to take a look at real quick for story purposes. We of course know this takes place in Savathûn's throne world by Ralk's pyramid ship. Our first shot shows us Guardians wearing some of the seasonal armor infiltrating the same area. We don't really get much from this image other than some environmental shots. Now this next one gives us some more context. Strange creatures and enemies are suspended in amber-like substances on the back wall. Guardians from the fire team are present and also members of Ikora's Hidden. Now new lore cards basically say that Ikora is sort of stepping down from leading the Hidden to focus on Zavala and the Vanguard, passing leadership off to Chalco. So I wonder if we'll interact with any of these characters or if they're just here for story background purposes. From the trailer, Savathûn's voice is heard, so maybe she's the one guiding us through this dungeon. There seems to be various zones like this. Maybe they're just story moments where you can pause and take a break and look around, but I thought that was cool and wanted to share it. We then have these sort of cover art images, one with the Guardians and one without, overlooking the pyramid structures in the background. Bungie has an update about the Nether and some of the difficulties in health healing. With the release of the Nether activity within the Dreadnought, we're looking to treat healing as a resource that players need to monitor throughout gameplay. At this time, healing-centric builds and options, weapon perks, exotics, and abilities are not working as we'd intended. Additionally, we are aware that many healing-centric builds are difficult to see or feel with Guardian health being increased by 200%. Overall, the health bar contains 3 times your normal health values, so healing feels fairly low and also slow. We're looking to take a balance pass quickly and are targeting a patch as early as next week to address these issues. Stay tuned for updates. Here's a list of the known issues if you like to pause and take a look. Microcosm being disabled, character names being missing from the top right of the screen. That's also a big one, especially if you don't have dialogue for some of them. But anyway, Guardians, that's all we got for this week in Destiny. Some small updates about the dungeon releasing tomorrow and some changes for Heresy. If you'd like to see some more Destiny news, lore, and mysteries just like this video, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video.